Hello and welcome to another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast, the podcast that aims to cover a wide range of topics from conspiracy theories to popular culture and news. I'm your host Gaz, and joining me in the studio, well, the rumour has it that he went to the ice wall, climbed up, realised it was a bit cold and went home. It's my co-host, Mr. Taylor.
Hell yeah, he's freezing over.
It's like, it's a bad idea.
It is.
It's like, next guy goes, it's the same idea.
It is indeed, it's all them ice walls, man, all around the world.
Well, you got stuck on an ice wall yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, it was too icy, I couldn't no grip.
Couldn't steer.
Yeah.
It would be like slippily sliding all over the show.
Yeah, weather's been fucking nasty lately.
That's fair enough. You're here now, and thank you and welcome along to the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Never a Straight Answer podcast.
Oh yeah.
So whether you're a new visitor or a repeat offender,
keep repeating.
Welcome along for another show.
Oh yeah.
Got a good one this one. We're talking ice walls, but we're not. When we are.
Well, we are. We're talking around about We're
talking this week about the Antarctic Treaty.
Oh yeah.
Which is very interesting. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And kind of like makes you wonder. If you don't know what that is, that's an international agreement that governs the region of Antarctica. It was signed on December the 1st, 1959, and it's one of these kind of like things. It's weird considering that, you know, when have you known any other government to, you know, agree or get on with anything, or, you know, like have an understanding. The Antarctic Treaty goes down as one of the most successful international treaties ever created.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder why.
Well, we'll be going into it all a little bit later on. There's a lot of conspiracies, a lot of mad things.
I think Santa Claus has just got more together.
Well, this is the thing. Nobody knows.
No.
Right? But the thing is, there's so many theories, there's so many kind of like ideas of what could be going on in Antarctica.
And we will be going through that.
I think we will. I think we will. I think it's our civic duty.
I think it is
to do that. That's coming up a bit later on in the show, so do stick around.
Ooh, yeah.
We've got quite a lot going on.
We are.
Interesting stuff. What have you been up to this week, Mr. Taylor?
Not much, apart from working, to be honest, mate.
Just doing a bit of work. Weather's been shit, hasn't it? I mean, the dark nights makes you feel like it's like fucking middle of the night when it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So that weirds me out, man. I'm in my dressing gown, going ready for bed, and I'm like,
temperature drop.
It's not.
Just been...
And then the temperature drop has been disgusting, and it's just been nasty weather. So nobody wants to go out and do anything anyway. Do you know what I mean?
No, true.
Stay in.
Surprisingly enough, they like this, and they wear.
I have seen literally do you know, if we're talking the club scene, like people going out clubbing, Oh, I've seen people wearing like you know, short skirts, open toe shoes, no thermal leggings on or nothing,
I'm just walking
and they're walking around in snow.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So you know, but it's
crazy,
one of them. If it's what you're willing to do for fashion.
Well, that's it. If you want to,
if you're willing to go through all that to look good.
Hell no, not for me.
I'm layer up me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll sit there looking like I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Oh, I can hardly move. Exactly. I'm going out.
Yeah, there's no
a spaceman.
There's no give in my elbow joints because I'm so layered.
Yeah, it's just mad.
I
can't wait for the summer.
I've had my hot water bottle
out. Cold as well.
I've had my hot water bottle out.
Have you?
Yeah.
You know what?
It's been living in my bed, that hot water bottle.
I haven't used mine yet. Last time
get it going.
Was camping. But you know what? I might do that.
Do it. Do you know, stick it in 10 minutes before you're getting in bed.
Yeah.
Because I hate it when you get in bed and it's just dead icy and you're shivering under your blanket.
But I kind of like the cold. I
like it.
The cold.
Honestly, right? You know, there's nothing better than the cold side of the pillow. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Or sticking your leg out of the duvet just to get that kind of contrast between the heat of your...
have got to go outside.
The heat of the bed and just a bit of chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Hell
Right. Not got anything to say about that, but...
Get butterflies just thinking
I don't like
it.
cold. I just don't like being super cold and icy.
Yeah.
That's not nice.
Yeah.
Well...
That's too true.
That's
but mine's a long one as well. Mine's...
is it one of those big, like long hot water bottles where you can?
So I could get from.
I've seen those. Are they usually like cows and sheep and stuff? What's yours?
Yeah, no, it's just
It's just a hot water bottle.
and it's got a nice little fluffy thing around it.
I was going to say, was there anything over it, like a cover, or you raw dogging?
Oh no, I'm not raw dogging.
He's
No,
raw
I like
dogging.
my comfort, you know.
Raw
what I mean?
dogging. He's scold. I raw dog my hot water bottle's got nothing on. I keep putting it in a woolly hat.
Do you?
Just because he burns my legs. And
well,
like, fucking hell, what's
that's
that?
true.
Hot
That's
water
true.
bottle.
Yeah, man, you have to get it. You have to get something to solve.
Anyone else out there raw dogging?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
That sounds dodgy.
That. No, I know. It
if
does.
you ever enjoy it or not.
I do. I like my raw dogging.
Well, there you go. This week's episode's brought to us in part by Orange County CBD, the wellness supplement brand based in the UK. It's made with top quality Orange County Californian product. And it's good for a whole lot of different things. I use it for anxiety and stuff, but a lot of people use it for kind of joint relief, muscular pain.
It's good for
wouldn't
that
say
stuff.
it was like a cure-all, but it's definitely like a supplement.
Yeah.
It should be used with your balanced diet and health routine.
Yeah.
Orange County CBD, they've got a lot of sales on at the moment. Cyber Monday sales and carrying on and through Christmas. So if you're interested in checking out CBD products, they do a lot of balms and bath bombs, which are very relaxing.
Yeah.
Those types
really
of
nice
things. Go and check out the website. There will be a link in the description.
It will.
And to get extra 15% off, maybe even more.
Yeah, it could be more now,
I know they have the Black Friday code, so I would try both.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if they've carried on. I think they've extended that Black Friday.
It seems like everyone extends that Black Friday.
Of course, yeah. Well, it goes into like the next week, doesn't it?
Yeah. So get in there
I think
quick while
if
you
you
can.
try NASA Pod or NASA BF50 at the checkout, you will get a discount. And plus, orders over £25. It's free delivery as well. So there you go.
I forgot in that code.
I use them a lot of the Orange County CBD stuff.
Yes.
I think it's quite good, and they do a lot of really good flavours on the oils as well.
That's
so,
true, yeah.
I've had the mint one, but I've just recently tried the apple flavour.
Yeah, how was that?
It's nice, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I like it when they, change up the flavours, because, obviously, I've got
Yeah,
another
you
one,
gotta
which is
have
like
the
kind of
variety,
like
haven't
an orange one,
Yeah,
but that one's quite nice as well. Anyway, I'll leave a link in the description to all the relevant bits and pieces. Do check it out.
Yeah.
So I'm just jumping straight into this, aren't we? Because we're going to be talking today about the Arctic Treaty, which again, it's an interesting thing because the Arctic Treaty, like I say, it was an international agreement that governs the region of Antarctica. It was signed on December 1st, 1959, but it went into force on June 23rd, 1961. The treaty is unique and historical. It's a significant document, and it establishes a couple of ground rules for operating within the Antarctic area, right? Yeah. So there's no military activity that totally prohibited that, and obviously promotes international cooperation within scientific research.
No politics.
No politics, apparently. It's got to be like everyone working together. So it's like the International Space Station, isn't it? But on Earth.
Yeah, well...
If you like.
Well, I don't know, because as we go along, we'll find out more detail. So I'd say no at the moment.
Okay. Well, obviously demilitarization is a big thing, the idea that, you can't have any conflicts or military presence on the continent, including establishing military bases, testing weapons, and just basically having it's a demilitarized zone. So
totally.
No kind of anything that's kind of like aimed at hurting people, which again is kind of like one thing that I kind of feel like, why is not every country like that?
Well,
Do you know what I mean? But
totally.
There was a lot of countries that made claim to regions of Antarctica, Britain being one.
Yeah.
I think there was seven in the original.
Countries,
do you know who they were? We've got England, Australia.
I got Argentina.
Yes.
Australia, Chile, France, New Zealand, Norway, and the UK.
So America never made a claim to it?
No,
you would have thought they would have, wouldn't you?
At the Arctic,
the
top.
Oh, so they've gone for the upper end?
Yeah, which the countries for that was USA, Canada, Russia, Greenland, which is a part of the Denmark, and then you got Iceland and Norway. Norway got both of them, to be honest.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but there's kind of a weird kind of thing around it about not with the treaty. You're not allowed to do all these wars, political, and get all the goodness from the place. But
what do you mean the goodness from the place?
You
mean
like
minerals?
Yeah,
because,
minerals, fishing.
Byrd said
everything.
that there was when he did an expedition. Admiral Richard Byrd, he said that there was a mountain of coal that could have lasted us, the whole planet, years and years and years.
Yeah.
There was actually another highly sought after mineral there.
Yeah.
Uranium.
Oh, yeah.
Which would have been probably the main reason Russia had a claim on Antarctica as well. So
Russia owns.
Nobody owns any of it. They claim it as in to do research on.
And you can claim further out as well.
If this is kind of like heavily irradiated, it might be worth these countries, if you noticed what type of countries are staking claim to it as well, if they've not got their own uranium deposits, then perhaps that would have been of interest. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
so the idea that they were saying, well, you can't fight over anything, did they put these rules in place because there was something there that was worth fighting over? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And considering there was no native people living there as such, you couldn't kind of go in and say make a claim because we all kind of knew it was there in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, going back to the treaty, the freedom of scientific research, which is the primary purpose of the Antarctic Treaty today, is to promote scientific research in Antarctica to ensure scientific investigations and cooperations take precedence over interests. Mm-hmm. So, what do you reckon that means? So there'll be, obviously, the scientific research takes precedent over anything else. Whether these minerals or anything worth mining there or any sort of natural resources, they would say, well, no, well, first and foremost, even if there was a high deposit of something really worthwhile going for, but they were doing a scientific experiment on top of that area, they couldn't turn around and say clear off because we're going to dig it up, because they'd go, well, wait a minute, scientific research takes precedent over everything else here.
Yeah, but they're doing it on the basis, because one of the other rules was there was going to be no scientific playing about around there. But because of
that's the whole thing it's about, have scientific playing about, having a bit of a play with the science.
Well, he was going to leave it alone as natural as possible, as if
I think it is I hope it is, because it's been very minimal. I'm saying that though, if you do Google Earth it, there is almost a city there now in terms of research laboratories and stuff.
Yeah.
If you Google this in certain parts of it, obviously the continent's twice the size of Australia.
Yeah.
The idea that a little tiny bit of it, like what we'd consider a small town, is now colonized in Antarctica in terms of research scientists and stuff.
It's true, and they have got underground kind of things, scientific spots as well there.
I wouldn't think, but obviously freedom of scientific research and international cooperation take a big part of that. The treaty encourages international cooperation in terms of scientific research, and it promotes the exchange of scientific information. So if there was some sort of underground secret stuff going on, I think other scientists would you can't keep secrets there. That's the point. I think it's supposed to be, because it's encouraged.
It's the secrets as the group, it's the secret. It's like the UN. It's the secret of the group of who are running it, that they've had a pact together to say.
Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
There is something more going on there.
Oh, of course. I totally get. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is the freedom of scientific cooperation and the encouragement of that would suggest that you couldn't get away with doing secret experiments there without the rest of the scientific community not knowing about it. So like you've just said there, having a pact where anyone there, like within the inner circle, would totally know what was going on, unless it was compartmentalized in a way that only you knew bits. Otherwise,
which
then
kind of like
obviously
doing, it's hard in science.
It's almost like Area 51, where is like we have our theories about what's going on in Antarctica and what's what these experiments are.
Supposed to be some kind of weapon up there as well in that region.
Well, we'll go into stuff like that in a minute. I mean, I just want to kind of finish covering what the treaty covers first, and then we'll go into some of the kind of conspiracy theories and what people, can have kind of pointed at and alluded to, and a couple of the expeditions that have been in the past as well that have had kind of weird kind of things happen. The environmental protection of the area is a big thing. So obviously the treaty sort of suggests that they want to protect the Antarctic environment, so it prohibits any sort of disposal of radioactive wastes or materials. You're not allowed to introduce non-native species.
Right, that's right.
Scientific research must be planned and concluded basically with the aim of minimal environmental impact. So basically, if they turn up and they do an experiment and it all goes fucking wrong, it's down to them to clean it up after themselves. They've got to leave it in the same state they found it in. Now, there's a lot
of contracts say that, and they always go over the line. Look at the simple stuff of we want this railway built. It always extends more, and when you clean up, they do not clean up. And
well, they do actually in a lot of ways,
but to a certain degree, but not
because
to
like in terms of like Alaska, where they do a lot of mining work, right? So they apparently they pay their residents a stipend because they do ravage the land quite badly, but the mining companies, once they finish stripping the land for gold, or whatever they're mining, then they've got to put it back. So basically, if they've stripped it all bare and ripped down forests and trees, then once they've kind of finished that, a part of their budget is basically to plant those trees, kind of forestation.
But I know that they won't be. That
it wouldn't be to the extent of what they took out, not by no way most of the time. But
which means that
they aim to get that land back to normal within the next 20 years. Is the goal basically? Rewild it, get a lot more kind of wildlife reintroduced to it. It's just that they want the gold, and that's it. Right, and then they'll strip it, and then they've got to do it. But like in terms of trying to do that sort of stuff out in Alaska, you probably wouldn't get away with it. I mean, they don't want you to disturb anything, and and if you were doing any sort of research so mining operations would probably not be allowed at all. Really, if the main goal is scientific research with the most minimal impact, then that would be like literally let's find an area that's kind of like hardly got anything to impact and then have the smallest setup possible. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's always an impact even in an empty area, because you get the wildlife, the insects around the area as well, and the flowers and all that gubbins.
And they always have big meetings as well, to kind of make decisions about the management of the area and stuff. But then again, that comes down to the inner circles we were talking about earlier. Who are these people who are making these decisions? They've got the access to a whole continent.
To fill the pockets and then.
But talking about access, they say that the Antarctica is open to access. Antarctica is declared as a zone free of nuclear tests and nuclear explosions. And this is what they mean by that, but it's to promote the use of the regions for peaceful purposes, and claim it as a sovereignty over Antarctica. Nobody's allowed to make new claims over the sovereignty of the Antarctic territory. And nobody can go there. which is the
No,
thing. How's that
exactly.
open access?
Well, it's actually known a common heritage for all mankind there. So everyone gets the say so, I suppose, in one way, and I don't think...
Nobody says... Well, who knows how to go about having a say about what's going on Antarctica? Do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Well, I mean, over the years, several additions and amendments to protocols have been adopted and added to the treaty. These protocols are usually on environmental protection towards a treaty, but I mean, you never know what's being added, do you?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
I had a little look into this, and do you know why planes can't fly over there?
No.
Well, it's actually a law that was introduced by the president at the time that planes could not go any further. It can only go 60 minutes away from a landing zone.
Well, you're not allowed to go 60 degrees latitude, I think. I think it's the 60th latitude or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're heading towards the Antarctica, like on a boat, for instance, if you're heading on that bearing, you will be stopped by naval ships and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people say, I've said it in the past, I've said, you can go Antarctica, there's no problem. You can go on cruises and stuff. You can book an holiday to Antarctica.
Yeah,
you can.
Only a really tiny, small.
It's literally like the tip of you know, and it's where you're not allowed off the boat. It's designated areas that you're allowed. The cruise is allowed to go around.
Yeah,
you get the beauty of it, but you don't actually set foot on the continent. Yeah. Which, again, it's sad because I mean, like, there's loads of people who try to go, and there's a lot of people who go. Yeah, and I mean, some people they just have meetings there. Like they'll go, I mean, people like, well, I mean, weren't there a massive meeting there a couple of years ago with a load of random people, and it was like they were all just heading off to Antarctica for a big meeting. It was like,
it was
why?
Like one of the Bilderbergs or something.
Yeah, and it was like
that.
People tweeting, going, "Oh, big important meeting in Antarctica today," and it's like, wait a minute, why are you going to Antarctica?
That was near the time that they found the cave with the word. There was one word.
The word.
But it was in all different kinds of languages, even languages that we don't know of today. And yet there was like the presidents and even astronauts went down there.
Yeah, there was loads of people when just like, in fact, weren't there some rappers and like fucking like celebrities who went as well?
Yeah, there was loads. It was
like, what the hell is going on?
This secret fucking cave with the words and that.
Oh,
but if you do stand on the land and want to try and do a bit of skiing and shit, you'll get up to £10,000 fine and up to a year in prison. But it all depends on which country you're from. If you're from like
if you're from a country that's got a claim,
then that's the
it's down to your government to try you for trespass, I suppose. Which in England, trespass is only a civil offence, so you probably might get away with it. I don't
know. No, because it would have been what
trying to find a loophole.
Yeah,
you get a written warning.
All right, okay. Wish. No, it all comes down to the letter. You've already been told that you can't cross this line.
So, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Right. Considering considering the state of the world at the moment,
shitpot.
Where we can't agree on anything. Yeah, we're always arguing with other governments. We have all this kind of turmoil going on in the world.
Hell yeah.
Why is the Antarctic Treaty the most successful treaty ever in the history of anything? Because, you know, what are they protecting that is so important that they all find that it is in the ultimate best interests of the rest of the world
is not
to keep this safe and don't mess about with it. Yeah, right. In fact, it needs to be protected at at all costs and to the level that we cannot allow other people to step foot on this continent. Yeah. Is it a case of that it's history that will contradict our own?
I think that's one part, yeah.
Is it a case of that they found something there that they
don't know
if we can handle it? Is it a case of that there was so much kind of minerals, gold and wealth there that it wasn't, it was too much for any one person or one country to have. It could be a number of things. I mean, there's been a lot of different kind of rumours coming out of Antarctica going back to Admiral Byrd and beyond.
Yeah.
Admiral Byrd said he saw UFOs and they were chased off, run off by UFOs.
Yeah, and he had proof of, like, some ships went down, some people died through it as well.
There's been apparent photos recovered from expeditions that have shown ancient structures, monuments, statues.
Guaranteed there was definitely German bases there as well.
Well, funny enough, actually, there was a mission where Hitler was going to try and take 40 virgins to Antarctica.
Oh, right. Little bugger.
Apparently the voyage was all set. They all got on the boat and everything, but then they turned back for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, right, because I heard his submarine went to Argentina and they dropped off someone else.
But apparently there was a mission earlier on to take 40 virgins to Alaska.
I have heard
Antarctica,
that.
Sorry, not Alaska, Antarctica.
Yeah,
and I was
have
just
heard
that's
that
crazy.
Before.
But but in terms of older missions to the Antarctic, right? There was one
1951.
Here's a bit of an interesting one for you, right? So one of the first expeditions was to map it out, cartographers and kind of like circumnavigate it, right? Yeah, they wanted to go all the way around it, right? Now, if you kind of find out how big Alaska is, or you look at kind of the measurements, right? And I know I keep saying that's Alaska, Antarctica, sorry guys. But if you measure it, or there's a certain bit where they basically say 60 kilometres or something like that.
Yeah, because it changes in scale because of the snow.
Well, how come it took them 4 years to circumnavigate? Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to be twice the size of Australia, right?
I won't take 4
Now
years.
you can only, exactly.
But then you're talking ice and ice boats. You need the right kind of equipment.
But I mean 4 years. Anyway, I think this is where these photos came from, because apparently after they'd on the way home, they all died of like hypothermia and stuff like that, and then the ship was lost. But when they found it, they all recovered these images.
Bullets in them and all that kind of shit. The CIA found that.
Going into some of the conspiracies,
there's actually a video on YouTube of 1950. I believe it was 1951. With actually the Americans going over there and building a base. So that already breaks the treaty on the first lot. And that's when we were talking about the treaty before the actual signed
it didn't take effect till 1961. Yeah. So any bases
so they already had that foothold.
Probably why they didn't make a claim.
Oh yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Going into some of the conspiracies and speculations that surround Antarctica. Yeah. Hidden ancient civilizations, right? Yeah. So some conspiracy theories suggest that there were hidden ancient civilizations beneath the ice of Antarctica, claiming monuments, statues.
Well, every continent's had some living there, really.
Well, the thing is, I mean, they suspect Antarctica was green as long as, as little as 600 years ago. 600 years ago? Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
That can't be right. 600 years ago?
Well, yeah, I mean, how do you know it's like literally 1,000, almost getting on 1,000 years. I mean, who do you know who was alive 600 years, even 100 years ago?
Yeah, no one, but there's let's go with the scientific.
No, seriously.
Thing. Yeah.
This is something I read that it said that some scientists believe that Antarctica was green. As little as 600 years ago. I mean, they could be totally wrong, but at the end of the day, how do we know? We had a mini ice age in Victorian England. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is the kind of thing I was thinking of, because we had the snowball effect for nearly 10,000 years, and then as that melted away, this is like the end of that, period, and then the period shows that it will now it is now going to start getting colder. Even like in 2011, Europe was saying, right, we're going to have the snowball effect. Right up to past Europe, but it didn't. It didn't turn out that way. It did have a little bit, but obviously they're going like climate change has fucking changed it and all this. But we have a like snowball effect roughly every 10,000 years.
So I found a little interesting bit here, right? So it basically says here that today the South Pole records average winter temperatures of 78 degrees Fahrenheit or below zero. But roughly 90 million years ago, the fossils suggest Antarctica was warm as Italy and covered by green. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but that's 90 million years ago, right? Yeah. But
I would say it was
that's
sooner
what I'm
than
saying.
that.
What? Yeah, I would.
I would have
but
to say it's
but
sooner.
this is what I'm saying. That was green, tropical, fertile land.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then if there was a civilization on it, how do you know that it wasn't like still green in parts 600 years ago? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say it was a total snowstorm. Do you know what I mean? But
if
like
you're talking parts, then I have to agree
because they have found areas now that are kind of not. In fact, they found lakes that say warm water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are warm water lakes on the continent.
Yeah.
Right.
So you could live there.
You could have lived there. Yeah. If it was a warm continent, then you probably could have lived there. But
and don't
who
forget,
knows?
there's volcanoes underneath as well. This is the thing. They found something like 1,200 fucking volcanoes underneath it, something like that. And that's why at the moment they're saying it's global warming, but actually underneath they don't know why, but underneath is getting hotter and hotter. And then they worked it out that there was actually like these 1,200 volcanoes all underneath it, and obviously a few of them have gone off a bit, and there's a bit of warm water coming up, which makes sense to me about instead of it's all down to the global shit.
Well, yeah, I said this. I keep saying this about how the climate's got its own thing. The globe's got its own kind of
it's got its
harmony.
own system. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? So
and we have affected it, but we haven't affected it to a degree that it has done at the moment. But also space has something to be involved in it as well. The sun, and there's a load more stuff to it.
So going back to the conspiracies, extraterrestrial bases. There's plenty of conspiracy theories that suggest presence of extraterrestrial bases or UFO activity in Antarctica.
Even a doorway for it.
Oh, yeah, so even a massive big hangar for your ships to go in.
Yeah.
Some claim that the governments are working with extraterrestrial beings.
Yep, I agree with that.
In secret facilities underneath the region.
Yes, I couldn't do that. There is definitely big shit going on there.
This is the thing. I mean, Bird said that this was happening back in the day, didn't he? He said that there was aliens. They got chased off by UFOs. Told,
and that was 80 years ago.
I know, exactly.
Ago,
that was 80
I mean?
years ago. I mean, obviously, a lot of kind of what he saw there. He came back and he was very honest about what he saw. Do you know what I mean? He was like,
in his own private diary. But that's how a lot of the info got out, because he did put in.
No, I mean the stuff that he was saying about kind of the mineral wealth and the coal mountains and stuff like that. Even the fact that they found pyramids.
Yes.
Now these pyramids, people could just say that it's just a mountain, it's just a formation or whatever, but
coordinate with stars and shit.
It's actually, if you look at the kind of the geometry of it, right, everyone marvels at the Pyramid of Giza being so kind of what's geometrically perfect.
Yeah.
Well, this one,
which is slightly out,
it is slightly out.
Then.
This is what I was going to say. That the Giza pyramid is slightly out.
Yeah.
This one,
1.2.
This one is bang on.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
It is bang on.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way that this could be a natural formation. Right.
Yeah.
It's geometrically.
It's
geometrically perfect. Right. So could this be the same civilization? I know we've talked about the Aztecs and stuff. There was obviously a way of communicating information back then, because they all seemed to do the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aztecs, Egyptians, Incans,
fucking
apparently fucking Antarcticans.
Yeah. I mean, it already is opening up a lot of answers and a lot of questions since we've been up there, but like a lot of questions are not being answered to a certain degree, or the information which should be given out on the scientific.
We were talking about extraterrestrials working in harmony, hand in hand with governments, or whatever.
Yeah.
But secret military operations.
Well,
now, I know
that's been proved, definitely.
But the thing is, secret military operation goes against the Antarctica Treaty because they're not allowed any military operations or military presence there, right? But some conspiracy theorists revolve around the idea that powerful nations have constructed secret military bases and secret military operations and experiments in Antarctica. These theories may include claims of advanced weapon testing, weather manipulation, and other covert activities.
I'm sorry to break your theory, but I think it actually positive. It's true.
It's true.
It's true, because at the moment as well, there's big problems going up there since I think around about 2008. They've been playing war games up there, right? And Russia is pushing.
Shouldn't be allowed. I hope they're not. Because that breaks the treaty.
I think it was last year.
Kind of takes the fun out of it. The fact that it was a long-standing treaty that you've never been broken, and now you're saying it's being broken on a daily.
I think they started making a base about a year ago.
Well, they're not allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they're breaking the rules.
Turn up with a little cease and desist.
Did you
say sorry, Mr. Putin? Always, you fucking turn up with a million cease and desist for that guy, and he wouldn't fucking take any notice anyway.
Did you see what they did with a mini sub? With mini sub, they underneath the pack of ice, they put like a marker, saying this is part of Russia. Yeah, so we had to get a little mini sub and go, no, that ain't yours.
We parked it next to it and went, no, it's not.
Yeah, thanks for the flag.
Cheers. Another theory, which people kind of pontificate, is whether there's an entrance to the Hollow Earth. So the Hollow Earth is a long-standing and debunked theory, suggests that there's an entrance to a hollow civilization within the Earth. Could be in the South Pole, apparently, according to an idea that Antarctica's, not complete, or it's been covered by snow, but it's not completely covered. But the entrance might be there, and leading to this inner sanctum, inner world, maybe where the lizard people live.
This is where
Hitler riding a dinosaur.
This is where the argument with the plane kind of facts come up. That you can't go more than 60 miles, 60 minutes away from like an airport. But there is an airport.
There's a 60 miles. I think it's
60 minutes.
It's a latitude. It's something to do with the longitude and latitude.
No, it's about fueling as well. If there's any kind of disaster,
it's about what?
It's about basically they're putting it on the safety. Is if there's any
disaster, you can't get back because you've not got enough fuel.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to fill up.
Yeah,
I totally get that, but that's not why.
It's the 60
it's
minutes.
Not. This is what I was saying. It's like, hang on, we'll Google it in a minute, because there's something about the 60. I think it's something
that
to do.
Could be as well, but the 60 minutes, any airplane cannot go 60 minutes further than 60 minutes away from a landing zone, a safe landing zone for a plane to go down, and that come under Reagan's. Reagan brought it in the 80s.
Okay.
Which was a part of the actual agreement. They were just adding extra stuff on, as they generally do. Mainly, and that to me could mean that they were already setting up and planning on stopping people from getting there. But my little issue with it is they could very easily put an airport along one part of the strip there.
Here we go. Right, so there is the 60 degrees south, which is also a dividing line where the oceans and the air current circulate. Oh, wait, hang on.
Oh, so it could be about air currency.
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm just trying. Oh, here we go. What is the 60th latitude treaty? Right, here we go. So the treaty covers anything south of the 60th south latitude, known as the Antarctic Treaty. So you're not allowed to go past the 60th latitude in a plane, or a boat
Yeah.
or any other means,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, you will be stopped.
Yeah.
That's even
Yeah, yeah,
before you get to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's ocean.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. These like they I mean, in the 60 miles thing. It's
No,
like,
not miles. Like 60 minutes on the time.
yeah,
distance.
but there is a thing where if you do manage to travel and circumnavigate it or anything like that, you can only go so far.
Yeah.
And they make it out as if it's a lot smaller than it is. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, what's beyond that, and why is there so much? One of the other theories is the flat Earth theory. We won't ignore it. We will talk about it. Now, one theory is a lot of people suggest that this Antarctica isn't even the centre or like the tip of the planet.
It's getting some gravity at the minute as well.
It's a wall or an ice wall that surrounds
the planet,
I suppose.
Or that corner, I suppose.
Well, I mean, obviously, go and climb it. I want to go and see what's over that wall.
Yeah,
I mean, well, this is what they'll say: the 60th latitude thing.
Yeah.
Right. Stops you. Right. Yeah. From finding out what's beyond the wall.
But
yeah.
then
Right.
I'm just thinking now how you could find out and which.
Well,
if you went to the edge.
It's not what the right. So they're not light. Right. The light. I don't believe the flat Earth bit. But what they're saying is, beyond the ice wall is another continent. Right. Yeah. Well, the ice wall is is basically where the ice has shifted and it's created a cliff, like a cliff face would, rock would.
Yeah.
The White Cliffs of Dover are there because of a tectonic plate shifts in plates. Now imagine that with ice. That same thing happens. There's shifts and cracks and breaks and things rise and refreeze. Yeah. So these massive big ice walls that people see are the result of these things, right? It doesn't mean that that's a barrier, No. It's just like the edge of any continent. Some have beaches, some have cliffs. Yeah, right? And I'm sure that you'll find cliffy places around Antarctica as well as beachy places, but more easily accessible, right? Ways of getting on the continent, right? So this ice wall is not something that does go all the way around the continent, is what I'm getting at. It's select areas, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that's stopping you getting on the continent if you really wanted to, is what I'm getting at. So, they're not wrong. Beyond there is another continent. It's called Alaska. Alaska, Antarctica. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I keep getting those two mixed up tonight. I do apologise.
The other side of it.
Why do I keep calling Alaska Antarctica? Because they're both snowy.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And they begin with
one
an A.
small, one massive.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah. Sorry for all my confusion.
Well, there are serious weird questions. Like, there's a certain bird in Australia that breeds and lives in heat. And every winter it goes to Antarctica.
Right.
And there's questions to it. How could it survive in them really cold temperatures unless there is a warm, hot climate place? But you may have said the answer before with having hot springs.
Yeah.
With hot springs being there, obviously at certain times of the year, you know.
Yeah, but if there's nothing there for it to eat.
Yeah. But you may have grassy mountains.
I remember going to the underground Manchester thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, going under the tunnels in Manchester, right? And one of my mates was going to come, but he said, "Oh, I don't want to go because there'd be rats." Yeah, and I said, "You won't find a rat down there. No. There's no food." Yeah. So you're more likely to see one on the surface than you are right down in the depths down there, because there's nothing for it to eat. So why would it be down there?
You're never 10 feet away from a rat.
Well, no, I know that, but that's like surface world. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But this is what I'm getting at. It's like it has wildlife, but only because that wildlife has been, you know, it's naturally there. Yeah, it survives because it can. Yeah, right. Anything coming into that, right. Especially if it lives in the summer heat all year round and then goes to Antarctica.
Yeah, you got it.
Like, I was about to say Antarctica and then changed to Alaska and went back again, but you know, there's nothing there to sustain it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, unless there's like, fish in them lakes, like.
But then are they fish birds?
I don't know.
Well, the
I
ones
really
from
don't
Australia
know. We'll
are
ask
not fish birds,
Amber.
they're worms.
I'll get him on the phone.
Seeds and stuff like that. So then that asks the question of, there must be seeds and food and warmth there to actually make that animal go to that area.
Yeah, true. The last conspiracy that we've got here for Antarctica, alien artifacts. So some conspiracies suggest and claim, and they're convinced, I tell you, that these alien artifacts in Antarctica.
And the face, apparently, like the face on Mars, there was one in Antarctica.
Well, at least you can go and check that one out.
Yeah.
Claims of crashed UFOs, lots of other bits and pieces.
Yeah, there's some really good ones actually for that. Like, from Secure Team, I still picture the long one.
The one that crashed. It was like kind of crashed and skims across the ice.
Surface, yeah.
You can see the slide mark.
It's like a 20-mile fucking run. It's like,
totally,
you know
remember
what,
that one.
looks like a crash, that.
Obviously, it's obviously there's a lot of kind of conspiracies, and they can get a bit overwhelming with the majority of them. But a lot of them have been debunked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then there's still that one question in it. Well, what's behind there? Why are you stopping us? It can't be just the wildlife.
And obviously, like with the collaboration under the treaty, obviously people can't, do the research as well as they want.
Yeah.
So that keeps people guessing. Obviously, claims of secret civilizations, extraterrestrial bases, or hidden military operations in the area, are not supported by reliable evidence. But obviously,
Fitbit. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, actually. We were talking about that because, like, the Fitbit gave the game away for some bases, didn't it? Because, like, we did a story about it a few years ago where, because it tracks your GPS.
Yeah.
Like,
so
there was bases appearing on, like, people's tracking data.
In the middle
of fucking nowhere. In the middle of Alaska.
Yeah.
Antarctica. Fuck's sake.
And Alaska.
Everywhere,
Deserts everywhere. There was, like little bits here and there. And it was like, it's so, there is definite proof that there is definitely bases there. And Russia, like I said last year, is putting a base there. And their scientific place there as well. That's a base at the end of the day. So they've already got 3 bases there without even thinking about the submarine base in World War II or the Nazi base that was there as well. So there's 5. So there's going to be a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going into a couple of the expeditions that have been to the area. I was going to say the area, Antarctica. The first was in 1901 to 1904, led by Robert Falcon Scott. Which was the Discovery Expedition, was the first official British expedition to Antarctica. This was concluded scientific research and explored the unknown regions. The next one was a Nimrod Expedition, 1907 to 1909. This was Ernest Shackleton. This was another British-led expedition. The goal to reach the South Pole. So Shackleton and his team,
to see Santa.
They got to the most southernmost latitude at the time, and basically Shackleton made him legendary, really, didn't he? As an Arctic explorer. Then you had the Amundsen South Pole Expedition, 1910 to 1912. So a lot of it going on in the early 1900s, wasn't there?
But they were back then. Still, they were looking for gold, and then they were looking for the animals to slaughter to bring the fur back and stuff like that as well. There was a lot of big business going back then. Well,
this was a Norwegian explorer. He basically successfully got to the South Pole in December 14th, 1911, becoming the first person to do so.
Right.
Although they came close, they got the Nimrod one. They got as close as they could, but they couldn't get there. Then Shackleton tried again.
Right.
In 1914 to 1917, perhaps the most famous Arctic expedition. Shackleton was his ship became trapped in pack ice.
That's right.
And eventually sank.
Yeah.
Shackleton and his crew had incredible hardships, but all survived, making the expedition remarkable story and obviously a real test of survival.
Oh, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Then here's one. Didn't go there for another 30 years after that.
Yeah.
Operation High Jump.
Yeah.
We did actually do an episode of this. This is Admiral Byrd.
Between that time, then other countries have been hitting there, and obviously Germany hit there and decided we're going to do some stuff there as well.
So we have actually done a full episode on Admiral Byrd and the Operation High Jump. You should go and check it out.
Yeah.
Then the Commonwealth Transatlantic Expedition, which was 1955 to 1958, followed by the International Geological Year, I think the IGY, 1957 to 1958. Obviously there's been plenty more expeditions.
Yeah, and
they were some of the more famous ones.
Yeah, but don't forget as well, there's been other small ones as well, and there's been hundreds of deaths.
Oh yeah, well. God! I mean,
even
it's like
bodies can't find, even bodies just found down, like cracks.
Think about Everest.
Yeah,
that's got bodies littered all over it. I mean, how many people have tried to get there and just failed? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
not an easy task.
Look at these expeditions; they're like 3 or 4 years long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most of them.
Yeah.
I think by the 1912 they got it down to 2 years, but that was coming from Norway rather than England, so I don't know if it was a short time.
Yeah, but it'd be also technology, I should imagine.
True.
As well.
Technology's starting
to get the 1900s. It was like boom.
Well, you learn things, don't you, from the last expedition?
Yeah, so, that's true. That's true. This is what we need. This is what we don't need. We need to control weight. We need to be able to get from here to here with what?
From here to here.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I feel like that's. Have you got anything else you'd like to add?
Only that Russia's just pushing themselves there. They've even got a gas well and an oil well to actually take the goodness out of there.
Taking the goodness?
Yeah, all
my goodness,
all the minerals and shit.
Right, okay.
But since they started the war with Ukraine, not a lot of investors have been pulling away. So hopefully it's going to be closing that down.
Good stuff. Well, whatever you think, why do you think that Antarctica's so guarded? Yeah. Do you think any of the things we've covered tonight are true? You let us know. We'd love to hear from you. You can do that by leaving us a comment in any of the comment suggestions. We're all on social media as well.
Yeah.
So come and find us. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, well, good episode that. I feel like the stuff about kind of why they are so happy to collaborate on this and this alone.
Yeah, so strong.
Asks more questions than it answers.
It does.
I think there is definitely something to it. So if you've got any ideas or anything we've missed,
any evidence,
if you've been there, let us know.
Or if you got a ticket so I can go.
I want to go.
I would, right. I'd run off. I'd run off in the distance.
It's a good topic. That I enjoyed that. I do want to give a big shout out to our subscribers.
Oh yeah,
got loads of subscribers. We've got all our subscribers. I love. Yeah, I mean we've got subscribers. On every platform. Right. All from all over the world. People who just generally subscribe to the podcast. But
much appreciated.
We do have premium Spotify extra content. With subscriber people on that, and we do have subscribers on TikTok as well as other bits and pieces.
Yeah,
so
we're everywhere.
Give all them people, big supporter people, a big shout out, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, without further ado, right, big shout out to John. Nice one. Thank you so much for the continuous support. Big shout out to Ben as well. Thank you so much. Also, big shout out to the Black Nun.
Oh, Black Nun.
Louisa, thank you so much.
Hi, Louisa.
Thank you so much, Victoria or Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
Mans, really appreciate all the love and support. Terry, our man in Tasmania. Tez from Tasmania. Big shout out. Big shout out to Michael. He's in lives in Germany, I think.
Does he? Oh.
Yeah. And big shout out to Erda.
Erda.
From Finland.
Ah, nice.
Also, big shout out to Joe as well.
Joe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everyone else who subscribes. Oh, Scally G up a tree as well.
Oh,
not seen him for a while.
Yeah,
hopefully you're all right. Yeah, so there you go. We have got some news coming up.
We have indeed.
I think we have. We have. It's right here. I've been looking. There's some mad news this week. So without further ado, let's go. It's the news. It is indeed the news, and we've been looking all over the news, all over the world. Been rocking all over the world.
Yeah,
looking for news that's relatable, that's funny, that's kind of scientific in parts, and it's just stupid.
You know, I haven't been watching regular, TV news for a while now, and you know what? I'm quite enjoying it.
Feeling happier within yourself.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Here's a stat for you, right? Yeah. So I only found this out recently. It was John Cleese.
Right.
He was basically saying he's emigrating. He doesn't want to live in England anymore.
Watching one of his films last night.
Oh, was you? He's a good guy, man, John Cleese. But he's saying, I don't want to live in England anymore. Right, yeah.
Don't blame
and
me.
he says, a lot of it's down to the corruption of media. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there was a poll done, in all of European countries. And they independently asked 1,000 people in each country, do you trust the media? Do you trust what they're telling you? Do you think it's unbiased? Do you think that this media is telling you the
whole truth?
The whole truth and nothing but the truth? And out of
like 2% say.
Oh no! This was a league table.
Oh right,
yeah,
okay.
Right. So in terms of kind of like I think it was 40 countries.
All right. Yeah.
Where people were asked, do you trust the media? Where do you think the UK came?
Got to be between 1 and 5. Got to be between 1 and 5.
Dead bottom.
You're joking?
Yeah, we came bottom. Out of 40, we were dead last, right? Yeah, we trust our media like we trust a bank robber or anybody, you know what I mean? Like a con man. Yeah, our media, and you think that was bad enough. Yeah, but that statistic has been for the last 4 years in a row. Yeah, right? So the fact
we're not doing enough.
We don't trust our media. Yeah, basically is what that suggests. Yeah. So when the media is kind of being manipulated and untrustworthy, and the public say for 4 years in a row out in a poll of 40 countries, do you trust the newspapers, the broadsheets, the TV news, mainstream media? And they say no 4 years in a row. Wow. There's obviously a problem, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, and you can see it.
So, I mean, like mainstream media, it's one of those, it's there, it's in your face, isn't it? So they're more than likely, probably who trusts their who trusts their media? Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check.
Swedish or something.
I'll have to have a look into that. I'll find out. By the end of the news, I'll have a look.
Yeah.
I've got this first news story.
Yeah.
Kentucky 2-year-old.
All right.
Yeah, this is a 2-year-old from Kentucky.
Oh.
Who has scored IQ points, making her the youngest female member of Mensa.
Oh, shit.
She's 2 years old.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, do you know what I mean? This is crazy. I mean, this is...
What points did they give her?
What's that?
What points did they give her? Because there's grades, isn't there? There's like...
Well, they do a test.
Yeah.
Well, basically, Eliza McNabb, age 2, became the world's youngest female Mensa member, according to the Guinness Book of Records. So, I mean, how do you even realise your kid's that smart at 2 years old? Are they reading, like, fucking War and Peace?
Reading poetry to you.
Just reading War and Peace and having philosophical conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just puzzle solving, problem solving? I mean, how would you recognise that? I reckon that'd be really kind of...
Well, it would be out, if you think about it, it'd be out the aspects of how you would expect a child would be.
Okay.
At that age. So it'd be like, hold on, you're like acting like 15 and you're 1. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here? Or if it's acting double the amount of time, if there's something
I mean, well, this is the thing. I mean, the examples you've gave here is like the person said to the girl, like, wrote the word red on the board, and Eliza was able to read it back to him, even though she was about 4 or 5 years below the age of children most typically acquire the ability.
Yeah.
Shocking that Jason McNabb, the father, I assume, went and wrote the word blue and yellow and cat and dog, and Eliza just basically read each word like no drama.
See?
And this was like younger than 2, I'm assuming, at 1. Do you know what I mean? Like, so from there,
and it's usually as far as I'm aware, the last time I checked, it's usually around about the age of 3 that you start memorising stuff.
Well, this is it. Well, this is it. She started memorising stuff because she started leaving words spelled out around the house with multiple coloured toy letters.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The letters chair would appear next to a chair. Letters spelling sofa would appear next to the couch. Seriously, this sounds a bit psycho. Do you know what I mean? In a way,
she's alien.
The letters cat were spread out next to the carcass of the cat. No, I'm only joking. It wasn't dead. It was alive. But basically, at that point, they told the Guinness that they'd seen enough to suggest that she was a bit of a genius, and went undergo IQ testing. They did it. And yeah, she's basically was 2.5 years old when she did it. So youngest female member. So that would suggest that there's a male member
that's younger
or as young.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe the youngest male member is 4. But I mean, that would still suggest she is the youngest member. Whereas these are saying youngest female member, which suggests that there's a younger male member. How old's that kid and how smart is he?
Yeah. As soon as he popped out, "You right there, love? You've got a scar?"
What the hell? Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting. I want to check out that kid. That kid's IQ points or what else it can do.
Finding quite a lot of
I'd be buzzing if I had a really genius kid.
Yeah,
doing all crazy stuff.
What a lot of numbers. What are going to be the lottery numbers?
Totally. Have you seen anything news-wise?
I have. Pretty much bad news for car owners, to be honest, because one is official now that Top Gear is finished. It's not going to continue because Freddie Frintoff had his accident, so I believe they can't get insurance for it now.
Yeah.
So it's all done and dusted apparently, which is pretty sad news. But also, there's someone's come forward from Germany, a German insurance, who's talking about how insurance now are looking at anyone who's got a non-electrical car by 2030. You will not be able to get insurance at all anywhere.
Why?
Because they want to push you onto the electric cars.
Well, the electric cars, I mean, it's like, I don't understand why they think that that's better. It takes ages to charge them, and the fact that you can top up with petrol and then drive straight off.
Or set fire in them as they're going along.
And I know the electric ones
that have been going off lately.
You know, the lithium batteries, aren't they, I suppose? But, where do you think this extra electricity comes from? You've got to burn more fossil fuels to get it.
Yes.
You put in fossil fuels in your car one way or another.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's because it's just mad because it's going to...
Is it just the emissions? Is it just all about the emissions? Because
that's what they're putting it on, but obviously it's to make more money in it. At the end of the day, it's another transition.
It's more kind of to justify making more nuclear reacting power plants or whatever. I mean, come up with a better option. There's got to be a better way, guys.
Look, we've got so many geniuses out there, and especially we've got some kid geniuses.
There's a 2-year-old kid genius. Get her on it.
Why
are they not right? We just say, look, right, I know you're 2 now, but if we give you this problem now, by the time you're 20... You should have smashed cold fusion. Yeah, right.
Well, cold fusion's right near the edge now.
They said they made a breakthrough with it, and we'd all be having free electric.
Yeah.
So where's that?
But they're working out how to get money out of you so you can use that electric.
No, that's not free then, is it?
Exactly.
For fuck's sake.
Exactly. By now you would think that it's quite easy. There's quite a few projects out there where you can get free electricity, but if you don't pay any tax on it, then you can't use it. That's the basis of it at the end of the day.
Well, desperate times, do you know what I mean? I found this story.
Greedy times as well.
It is greedy times, actually. Yeah, this is.
Man.
Do you know what? That was the most perfect segue into my next story.
Well, thank you.
Hard times and greedy times, because this was a robbery that happened in Australia.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
It was a heist.
Oh.
Yeah, you know I love a good heist.
Oh, yeah, really good one.
Well, the police department have put out a dragnet. Yeah, right.
Okay.
They're trying to recover the cargo that was stolen from this in this heist, because
What,
obviously
money, gold,
well, the
jewellery?
police had obviously a vested interest, because
it was valuable.
well, it was to them. A van containing an incredible 10,000 Krispy Kreme donuts
Oh, what?
was stolen.
Yeah. The police had to get on that
They had
one.
to get involved in
number
there.
one case.
Well, they did. They fucking pounced, mate.
Did they?
APB, get out an APB, all units.
Shit.
Strange sounding incident was reported by the company after it was a van was stolen, basically, in Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia. When the driver stopped for gas, the donut bandit struck.
Oh no, man.
Yeah, delivery van was stolen at the service station around 3:30 a.m. On Wednesday morning. I think it was like 29th of November. The van driver reported inside the gas station with. Oh right, so he went into the gas station. I think he was delivering there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so he was doing a fill up and dropping off some donuts. And it's believed that a woman who drove off with his van.
Oh, so it was a female.
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
a
They
male.
got the CCTV footage, and they believe it was a woman who drove off. Run off with a Krispy Kreme van. Well pleased with herself, probably, as well.
Yeah,
like
hell
making
yeah,
donuts
stuff in
for
her
days.
face, yeah.
Oh, you couldn't get through 10,000 donuts.
No,
you just
but
couldn't. You could not get through 10,000 donuts.
Yeah, like
without
you're
them
going to
going
have
bad.
them. Nah, you go around where all the stoners are, and then you sell them to the stoners, and you get money at the same
I
time.
still don't think you could sell to.
You don't know any stoners, then?
I do know a lot of stoners, but what I'm saying is, right, yeah, even with, like, say if I went around every stoner I knew and gave them all 100 donuts, they'd get through about 20 of them, and then they'd start going stale, they'd be like grim, if sick of eating donuts, nobody wants another one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A majority of them donuts are going to waste, let's put it that way.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could find the odd shop.
Well, we said, do you want to buy some donuts?
Yeah, big supermarket. Hey, do you want donuts here, mate?
Not really. They look good, though. I love a Krispy Kreme donut. Oh, yeah.
No, I prefer jam.
they do jam ones as well, you know. Krispy Kreme or Krispy Kreme or whatever they call it. But they just do all types of different fillings. But
I know.
I would just prefer a sugared
now.
ring, just a classic iced ring donut.
Oh no!
Love it.
I like the sugar part and the not the ring
Stop
one.
it! You're making me hungry, man. I just want a donut now.
Yeah.
I found this story, right. You know, it's getting close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all good news. You know what I mean? Like you put your Christmas decorations up.
Yeah.
And you expect that's going to be giving cheer to the neighbourhood. Yeah, it's bringing joy to
you're
the kids.
talking about the house, the whole building?
What do you mean?
Putting the lights up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people do that. Yeah, right. And people kind of like put fun inflatable, Santa Clauses, Rudolph's, snowmen, all those types of things.
Yeah.
But a Kentucky resident is absolutely furious after his inflatable Santa decoration was downed by a gunman in a drive-by shooting.
Oh, shit.
He just finished pumping it up.
Oh,
right?
no.
He's put out his Christmas decorations, put it outside his family home in Lexington, it basically including a $200 giant inflatable Father Christmas.
Yeah.
He'd put it out in front of the yard. It looked great. And next minute, drive-by shooting, someone shot his Santa.
Oh, no.
I mean, they bar humbug.
Yeah.
It was the Grinch.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, has anybody else had such... That's fairly harsh.
Yeah, but the
CCTV showed it. I think dash cam, not dash cam, ring doorbell cam. Footage shown.
It is a bit
a
funny.
car turning around and then shooting a firearm and you hear it ringing out. Do you know what I mean? Like seconds later, the Santa starts to deflate. Poor guy. What? This is news, man.
Yeah,
this is hard-hitting
but
journalism.
I can see the funny side to it.
Well, mate, drive-by shootings on
Yeah.
Santas.
Yeah, but at least it didn't hurt anyone, or it didn't ricochet or anything like
Yeah,
that.
true.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it was a wrong thing to do, but still
Well,
funny.
I've got
anyway.
another Christmas story before we move on. Okay, right.
Yeah, right.
So, sorry, it is Christmas coming up. We've got to do
It
this.
is.
I've got actually a sad Christmas-ish story. I do
Okay.
have to say. Firstly,
Yeah.
right. But Shane McGowan from the Pogues.
Oh yes.
Of one of my favourite Christmas songs ever,
Yeah.
Fairy Tale of New York,
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah, I heard.
It's really sad.
Yeah, the other day, I couldn't
really
believe
great
it.
artist, and obviously, like I say, he's going to be missed because he's an absolute legend. And well, like I say, best Christmas song ever. I think most people agree.
Yeah, one of the
I know
best,
you
but,
like Wham.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can't beat a bit of Wham.
You love a bit of Wham, regardless, all year round.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like, I see, I only know him for the one song and the one song only, and like, I don't put him much on that pedestal. that a
Oh,
lot of
no,
people
but yeah,
do.
because you're not a fan. I mean, there's a lot of people who
Yeah.
like the rest of his music. I mean, I'm only mentioning that one because
yeah.
it's Christmas.
It's the only one I
I
know.
mean,
yeah,
it's probably one of his most famous,
yeah.
but you know,
Definitely
I
going to
mean,
get played this year.
100%. Anyway,
Yeah.
well,
Well,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
and
to him, yeah,
obviously,
man.
yeah, and sadly missed. There is another quick Christmas story here, though. This is a story about a guy who dresses up like a Grinch. Yeah,
Oh, right.
sat outside an elementary school with a sign saying Santa is fake, Jesus is real.
Oh, that's some truth. That.
Dropping some truth bombs on the kids.
Oh well.
Um,
My days.
I mean, it's a bit tight. I feel like that's a bit
you
harsh.
can't really prove either of them were alive.
They're both
to be honest,
fictional.
so,
What you're on about?
Yeah. So it's well, must have been a die-hard Christian there then.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, but yeah, Grinch tries to steal Christmas standing in front of elementary school with a sign that says Santa is fake, Jesus is real.
That's.
But he's dressed like Santa though.
Oh, I'm just wondering, did the parents come out and go like, "Hey, what's going on here?"
Well, they
And,
did.
like,
Obviously,
give him a bit of
teachers came
slapping.
out. Obviously, it's made news. So, people... I mean, what did he think? Whether he was, being like, this will teach the kids. They need to know that Jesus is all about Christmas. Fuck Santa.
Let's just hope it doesn't go like the other way. Like, there's a lot of lies going on around the world at the minute, and like, then a lot of truths, but the truths are overextended. You know what I mean? To do shit like this.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, obviously you do little white lies here and there that don't hurt anyone and that,
Oh, you said white
Big,
lies.
yeah.
I thought you said
These-
something else.
but these big ones and those big whoppers that are out there, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
you keep mentioning food. We've done donuts and Whoppers. Oh, man. You're making me hungry tonight. What are you doing? Right. Have you got any news stories? Obviously no food-related ones.
No, well, no, I haven't. No.
Yeah, come on then.
Right, so you decide to have a tattoo put on you.
You rhyming.
Your lover's name.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where would you put it?
Backside.
Your backside.
Yeah.
Where would the last place? would you put
Forehead.
it? Well.
I seen this. This is a girl who she's had a boyfriend's name tattooed across her head.
Across her head.
Why did she do that?
And she absolutely.
She's not with him
she
anymore.
Loves it.
Is she with him still?
Yeah, she still, and he loves it as well. And it's like, you mad cow.
I mean, I've
what's
seen
that?
people do that for advertising purposes. Like people will say, "I'll pay you $5,000 to have Campbell's
Oh, yeah.
meatballs tattooed across your forehead or whatever."
Oh,
You
well,
know, I mean, not
have
necessarily. For other brands.
I've seen it for dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
not talking about it's Campbell's meatballs, but like other brands are available. You know what I mean? It just generally
Yeah.
using them as an example, but like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean Budweiser or something or Red Bull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I totally expect somebody to tattoo Red Bull across the face for an advertisement or whatever, but
Well, yeah. I mean, I was considering it for my car for 100.
What, get Red Bull on your car?
For a year.
Oh,
Or
can you do
something
that?
on that. Yeah.
You drive around in a Red Bull car? I'd drive around in a Red Bull car anyway.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to pay me. Just give me the car.
Well,
I'll do that.
no, it'd be my car, but they just put the signs and shit all over it and pay me 100 quid for it.
Seen a really good Red Bull video before, a guy jumping off a building. It was so good.
Oh, yeah, that was
Anyway, yeah, that was beside
fucking
the
crazy,
point.
Yeah, so she's got Kevin written across her
Kevin! Oh, it's a good job it's not Keith.
Well, yeah.
Sorry, Keith.
Yeah.
Any Keiths out there, I do apologise, but yeah, sorry, it's not my fault, is it?
That's true.
sorry,
An
Keith.
even terrible story I found as well.
Go on.
Which I think this another one.
No joyous
like
stories.
This.
He never comes out with a joyous story. It's always terrible stories.
I just found that the weirdest or the
funniest. Go on. Sorry.
The funniest in a sick kind of way, right? So this
my favourite.
This guy, his mother died. Yeah. So.
Sounds like the beginning of a joke, right? But carry on.
It does, but it's not because it's true. So his mother died, and his wife's looking after him, making sure he's all right and that. And he decided to have a look through personal items of hers to get rid of, like photos and stuff like this, notes and that. And as he was going through him, he was looking through the photos, and his mum had always told him that I'm not telling you your dad is. And
well, you've got to guess.
No, she just point blank refused.
He's one of them guys in this photo, but I'm not telling you which one.
Yeah, actually, that's the way it turned out to be, because it ended up being his wife's dad.
No.
Yes. And
he'd married his sister. Thought, we really get on. We just got this connection.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is, but we've just got this connection.
Yeah.
And he married.
Now it's a family connection.
Oh well, what would you do in that situation? I mean, you've been married a year. You've obviously consummated the marriage and all the rest of it.
But
so
then it's
too late now. It is illegal, but you didn't know. So I mean, there's a technicality.
Well, yeah, there is that technicality, but
you just moved to a state where it is legal.
Well, yeah.
It's just like, we love each other. Fuck it, we've got a kid now and everything. Like,
oh, that was the lucky part.
We bought a dog.
Yeah,
we bought a dog together.
Yeah, you have to share the dog. I take them Monday, Tuesday,
we got
Wednesday.
A mortgage. For fuck's sake.
Not no more. You got separate houses.
Oh, imagine.
But that's fucked, innit, man?
Oh, mate.
I seen a story years ago where
you just forget it. Would you just forget it?
Being a mum and son.
No.
Yeah, in America a couple of years ago.
Only in America.
Fucking hell. It's like, oh my god. But they had the DNA test to make sure.
And it was.
And it was, yeah. It was like, oh my god, that's just a nightmare. You wouldn't want to wake up, would you?
I'm just lost for words.
Yeah.
With that.
Fucking mad.
I found this story here. Guy gets shot in the face.
What?
I know.
Don't say lives.
Oh well, no, he probably died. But I mean, it was the reason why he got shot in the face, because he refused to give the suspect his potato chips.
What?
That's what I'm saying, man. The world's a fucked up place. It's like a guy comes over and goes, "Yeah, give me your Pringles," and you say no, and then you get a bullet in the face.
You fucker.
So according to the police, victim was shot after a 42-year-old man asked him for some of his potato crisps. The man then fired an unknown vehicle.
Oh.
So was it? So I can't. What the thing I don't get about this story, right? Yeah. So was it the man with the potato chips that did the shooting, or the man who asked?
The man who asked.
Right. Well, so all he had to say was no, right? And then he's shot him.
And the guy didn't like it, so he went, I've had a piss off.
Well, I couldn't work out whether he'd gone, can I have some potato chips? And then the man with the potato chips went, no, you cheeky man, I'm going to shoot you for asking.
Yeah, just wait there a minute, let me get my car.
Do you know what I mean?
Drive by, bang.
Yeah. Well, don't go shooting people over something so petty, is what I'm getting at. I saw that story and I thought, that is just where we are in society now. That is like, you know, we're or is it the fact that, you know, people like are desperately hungry and he's going to steal his potato chips?
Yeah,
And he was, you know, upset that he didn't give him one.
Well, there's still no excuse for shooting him in his face. You know what I mean? Maybe his little toe or something.
No, nowhere. Shoot nowhere.
Well, you threaten him with it first.
You
But
don't
obviously,
threaten
if you
anybody.
take
You ask politely. You get refused. You go, oh well, no harm, no foul. See you later. I'll find some potato chips elsewhere.
Yeah, but if he's going to pull a weapon, he's going to use it if he doesn't
No,
like.
you should never resort to violence.
Yeah, that is true.
For
But
something like
sadly,
that.
a
But
lot
sadly,
more of
that's
it's-
it. That's the thing, because, like, you know, the problem is with, like, you know, people being on the breadline is you fucking need stuff. Yeah. It's like, you know,
Live or die.
we've seen what it's like on Black Friday or on one of these fucking, like, when they say they were running out of toilet roll and everyone goes ballistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they go, like, very territorial about products and their needs.
Run out, ma, mate.
So, yeah, I
Everyone
mean,
run
is this, like, you know, the way it's going to go? And this is why I'm trying to say it's not worth doing stuff like that for the sake of a fucking roll of bread or a potato chip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that guy, well, saying that, if
You
he was
shouldn't really
hungry,
do it and have a victim at the end of it.
No.
Unless the victim is a big corporation.
Exactly,
Then I agree with it.
At the end of the day, the way I see it is, it's the same way I see house burgles. Right. House burglaries, right? Yeah. If I see people doing that, I always think that's just a hard-working person who's working hard for the stuff they've got. Yeah. Now they've got to replace. They've got to replace all the damage. They've got to replace all the missing items. Yeah. Right. And yeah, you might have got a couple of bits, but there's
Not
a victim.
survivable.
There's a victim. Yeah, right, and someone's fucking hurting off that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Whereas, like you've just said, a corporation, they've got insurance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Corporations got loads of money.
Although I
Take it off the
don't
boss.
advocate thieving of any sort.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
Choose your battles. Do you know what I mean?
But
Like,
if you're desperate that you have to do it, then yeah, I kind of agree with the corporations, as long as you're not going in for a greed.
I'd say choose your battles.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But just like people who are in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What the fuck?
Don't forget,
Don't
there's
do
always
that.
a victim at the end of the crime.
Anyway, yeah. So moving on. Have you got another story? I've got a couple more.
Got one more that could go into NASA.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I found this story here. A Welsh couple have been fucking.
What, shagging sheep?
Oh, you can't say that. What
I
the fuck?
apologise, yeah.
You fucking horrible bastard.
What have you been doing?
I'm absolutely speechless. We have a lot of Welsh fans.
We do.
And you've just gone and insulted them all. How will we getting hate mail now from now on?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure you will.
Oh, yeah, please.
Well, I apologise
kind
to
of
all
money.
our Welsh friends on Taylor's behalf. That was actually like, you know,
Bit harsh.
harsh. Yeah, well, a Welsh couple have found a bomb in their garden. They basically didn't know it was a bomb. They painted it as a decorative ornament.
What?
And put it in the garden when it actually was a missile. Yeah?
Oh.
Right, yeah. Sian and Jeffrey Edwards realised that the shell, an old friend, they say, which has been sat in the garden for ages, was actually a missile or a bomb, and they had to get the bomb squad out. So they kept this live bomb in the garden as an ornament. They said they were sorry that they had their old friend had to be destroyed. Do you know what I mean? It'd been there so long. But yeah, Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, is where it was. They found, though, it was a dummy bomb with no charge. Yeah, so it was lucky. Yeah, but basically they said that it was, you know, they didn't sleep a wink that night, you know, thinking it might go off. But later officers told them that, you know, the bomb squad would arrive. And
destroy it anyway.
Then they told the bomb disposal unit, we've been living in the house, we've been going outside, there's been no drama, we've been going up to it, painted it, like, done all this shit, just rearranged the garden. Didn't hear any ticking or anything. So, you know, the bomb disposal unit said that obviously they're not going to leave the house, you know, they're staying there.
Yeah.
Oh, they told the bomb disposal squad they were going to stay there. So he said, if it goes up, we're going up with it.
Oh,
But it turned out to be a dud anyway. But I just thought that was hilarious. But yes, again, thank you to all our Welsh listeners. We do appreciate you.
Do.
And I think Taylor would like to...
I have apologised.
No, I'm thinking a formal apology.
Yeah.
All right, okay, fair play. Going to my next story, we do have some NASA stories, NASA news. We're going up on the whatchamacallit. To Europa.
We are.
Yeah, so
Mars
we're
and
not
Europa.
actually going, but like, yeah.
No.
I was like, would this make our podcast the first podcast
I'm hoping to.
on Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah, or mentioned on Mars at least.
Yeah.
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 I think that's an achievement. Well,
I do.
we're descending up to Europa as well now, the moon of Jupiter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, signed up to the NASA mission to go get our names engraved and
2
sent
to
up.
Mars, 1 to Europa.
Well, no, I've got my name, your name, and the podcast name. So, like, both of our names individually plus the podcast names going up to both.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's right.
Sweet.
Other than that,
Out there. Getting out there.
so apparently there's been UFOs. People are seeing like a military vehicle traveling around, like US Air Force stuff. It basically looks like it's raised a few eyebrows, but apparently it was not a UFO on the under canvas on a cargo
Vessel.
like a cargo lorry.
Yeah.
But there was something. So basically, it was something to do with the Natural Museum of the United States Air Force. Yeah. And it raised a few eyebrows as it was going down the road, apparently, because it looked a bit suspect. I think it was in a plane. They were bringing it out of a plane on a lorry.
Okay.
And it looks remarkably like a UFO, I've got to admit.
Well,
So they brought it out. It's a disc-shaped object. Brought it off an air mobility command vessel.
Yeah,
on a lorry, and literally just drove off with it. But it just looks like a disc. It looks like a UFO.
so I'm thinking like a scanner or something.
But they're saying no, it's not a crashed UFO. It's
Now, who do you believe?
something else.
Yeah.
Like we're taking to the air museum.
The government, or
Yeah, maybe not. I think
people
it
who
looks
taking
very
the pictures?
UFO-ish.
So
So
it possibly is.
I think that's it. I think Northern Lights
Oh yes.
apparently would be seen in a lot of Scotland and most of the northwest of England
Hopefully we'll get to
tonight.
see,
So well,
yes.
maybe we might not have seen it. We might have missed it.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
might
see
have.
anything when I looked out before. But if you were lucky enough to see it,
Yeah.
well done you.
Yeah. Very well done.
Oh yeah. Also, some of the best UFO footage been captured where a streak of light, basically it was like a tic tac, but it wasn't a tic tac. It was kind of like, you know, when you see one of these streaks of light, it was basically causing a bit of stir on social media and Facebook and stuff like that, because it's so fast and then just disappears. I'll try and find that and put it up on social media.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of kind of tweets. I think a lot of people have seen that, but I will post it.
Well, there's actually 3 people have come out as well from like ex-CIA to state now that they've got a special operation team that goes out and actually captures UFOs and that, and then brings them back and gives them to the private corporations.
What, to divvy up? Do they
basically
have to do
find
tender on that shit? Do you know, like, so, you know, like companies like SpaceX, or, do you know, they had SpaceX and what's his name, Jeff Bezos, they had a tendering thing where they were like, oh, we can do it for this much money. And, do you know what I mean? Like, or, you know, what the construction companies do similar thing where
They get paid to do it.
Well, I know, but
All
they
of
say,
it.
but they have to say we've got this much planned, or we're this far ahead, or they've got to kind of justify why they deserve the funding and all the rest of it. Whether they're going to do the mission or the other guy, do you know what I mean? It's like if building contractors, if they go to a government to get a juicy contract, a few companies will put their name in the hat, but it's who can do it the cheapest, quickest.
Exactly. Usually the
do you know what I mean?
winner, yeah.
Like, usually the winner.
But it's a case of it's just it sounds to me a little bit about they're saying it's Area 51.
Right,
Because
okay.
of the amount of crafts, because they've said like there's 2 crafts that are not damaged, but they have 9 all in all.
So what, they're just talking about, like, so we've not been really doing much for the last 50 years then?
Yeah,
like, we are a
from,
wing of the government, but we go and collect alien craft, but there's not been any for a while.
Apart from the people of America have been paying for their special operation teams to go out, get the craft, go and take it to
but when you say
company.
extraterrestrial, I mean, like, you know, unidentified object, UFO or a UAP or whatever, then technically it's not necessarily a UFO, is it? It's not necessarily extraterrestrial.
Well, no, not necessarily yet. It could be like a satellite or a part of the you know, one of the stations or a bit of shit come from down there. But those objects that we don't know what they are, which is the unidentified object, they take to private companies who then can like de-engineer it and then like do whatever they want with it. And they don't have to pay or bring the objects out, and that's a part of the problem of what's been going on.
Yeah, because it's through a company, isn't it? Where you know, it's like
and they're only there for profit.
Well, no, because the thing is, it's like, you know, they both have their own sort of handles where the government will say, "Oh, it's government national security," whereas the companies
some of them are going to
turn around and say, third-party companies like Lockheed or SpaceX or anything like that turn around and say, "Oh no, patent. We've got patents on this stuff, so we can't let out, you know, it's company trade secrets."
We don't even have to tell
no, of course
the
don't.
government.
Well, the government, of course, the government gave them the shit. They know all about it.
Well, realistically, it should be the government who are doing it.
Give it them to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so they know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and that just shows you that companies rule the world.
Well, who rules the world? I don't know.
Not us.
Not me. Well, anyway, that's been it. That's the show. I'm sure you'll agree. It's been a chilly one. It's cold. It's cold.
It's really
especially
cold.
in Antarctica and Alaska.
Yeah. Don't forget Alaska
Don't
now.
forget Alaska. It's because I want to go there. You know why? Because I actually want to go there.
I do. I want to go to the triangle.
Oh, the Alaskan Triangle.
Yeah, because there's more deaths there than anywhere else.
And that's why you want to go?
Yeah, no, because there's
I'm
weird
sure
things.
Everyone in Wales would be like, let's send him, please.
There's weird things that go on there, apparently, so it's like it's a big hotspot. Maybe we should have
a look into that one day. We've done all the other triangles, we may as well.
No, that's true.
Well, we'll be back next week. I hope you've enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
We're available on all podcast platforms, wherever you get your podcast. Spreaker, Anchor, or Spotify, as it's now known.
Yeah,
it's not Anchor anymore, is it?
Yeah.
No, they've just bought it. They just bought it and said, "Nah, we don't call it Anchor anymore." iTunes,
we are.
iHeartRadio, all of those places. YouTube.
Yeah.
You can check out the website. Links are on all the social media sites if you go to Linktree links.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week for another episode, so hopefully you've subscribed already.
Woo, yeah.
You can find us on all social media sites on Instagram and the artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
And TikTok. So wherever you are, come and say hiya. Come and join us for whatever we're doing. We're normally doing something.
Yeah, that's true.
So come and say hiya. It's good stuff. We'll be back next week for another episode. What are we doing next week?
I can't remember. Oh, I think it's...
we've got a special episode potentially next week. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We'll give you more information about that as we get it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we do. We've actually got quite a lot of stuff going on next week.
Yes, that's
loads of stuff going on next week. Yeah. So that's really good. Right. We'll catch you next time. I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
We've been the Never a Straight Answer podcast. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Oh.